Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into Stephen Bartlett's The Diary of a CEO. We're going to give you the shortcut to success, basically.
It's jam-packed with insights for business and life. 33 laws he lays out.
33. And look, we know you're busy, right? So we've picked out 7.
7 that we think are really going to resonate.
Yeah, make you think differently.
Not just summaries either. We're going deep, figuring out how you can use this stuff.
I love it. Okay, let's jump in. Bartlett's 5 buckets of success.
This one's all about getting that balance, career success, but like personal growth too, you know?
Right, having it all.
So he's got this analogy, right? 5 buckets you got to fill. Knowledge, skills, then your network, resources, and finally, reputation.
Like building blocks.
Exactly. You wouldn't put the roof on before the foundation. Same here.
So knowledge is the foundation, but there's got to be good and bad knowledge out there, right?
Totally. Bartlett's big on finding knowledge that's relevant to what you want to achieve. Like if you're an entrepreneur, you need to understand market trends, financials, that sort of thing.
No point learning stuff that's not going to help, basically.
Exactly. Once you've got that solid base, then you build skills.
But how do you even know which skills to go for? Feels overwhelming.
That's where the knowledge comes in. Look at the people who are killing it in your field. What do they know how to do? What are you missing?
So it's strategic, like figuring out those gaps.
You got it. And that's where a lot of people trip up. They want to network or get funding before they even know the basics.
Putting the cart before the horse, as they say.
100%. But nail those first 2 buckets, knowledge and skills, and the network starts to happen naturally.
People want to connect with experts, right?
Makes sense, yeah. And with a strong network comes resources, funding, mentorship, you name it.
And all of that leads to a good reputation, eventually.
Exactly. Think about the people you really admire. Chances are they've built all this steadily over time.
Not some overnight thing. You got to put in the work.
It's a journey, but worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for a little mind-bending stuff?
Always up for that. Hit me.
Bartlett talks about this thing called the question behavior effect.
Sounds intense. What's that all about?
Basically, asking a question can get someone to do something better than just telling them to.
No way. Seriously. Give me an example. This is wild.
Okay, imagine you want people to recycle more. Instead of a sign saying, please recycle, it says, will you recycle?
Ooh, I see. Makes it personal.
Right. Our brains don't like feeling inconsistent. So when we answer that question, even just in our heads, we're more likely to actually do it.
That's like we've made a promise to ourselves, even if no one else heard it.
And it works for all sorts of stuff, not just recycling.
You ever try this on yourself?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm going to finish this report, I'll ask, will I finish it? Works like a charm.
That's genius. Got to try that. Like a little mind game you play on yourself.
Leverage that psychology. Okay, since we're talking about influencing behavior, let's move on to the Goldilocks effect.
Ooh, does this involve porridge? Kidding. Kinda. But seriously, what is that?
It's that sweet spot, the just right choice. When you give people 3 options, they usually go for the middle one.
Okay, yeah, like the software subscriptions. Basic, super expensive, and then the one in the middle that looks like the best deal.
Nailed it. Companies know we like what feels safe, reasonable, even if it's not the absolute best for us individually.
They're playing us.
Kind of, yeah.
Ah.
Creating that context where the middle choice just seems right.
Sneaky, but effective, I guess.
It's about being aware as consumers. Knowing these little tactics are out there.
Knowledge is power and all that. Okay, so we've done our buckets, mind games, now what?
Let's talk attention. In this crazy world, grabbing and holding it is tough. Bartlett's got his 5-second rule for that.
5 seconds, that's barely anything.
Think about it. Social media, emails, a million tabs open. Our attention spans are like goldfish level these days.
It's a constant battle for our eyeballs, basically.
If you can't cut through that noise in the first few seconds, you've lost.
So what's the secret weapon?
Storytelling. Don't just throw facts and features at people. Tell a story they connect with, emotionally.
So appeal to their heart, not just their head.
You got it. Figure out what they care about, what problems they have, and show how you can help.
Makes it an experience, not just a sales pitch.
That's what makes it memorable. That emotional connection is gold.
And it's not just for marketing either, right? This applies to how we talk in general.
Absolutely. Whether you're pitching an idea, giving a presentation, even just chatting with a friend, holding their attention matters.
It's about respecting their time, making sure what you say is worth it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, let's talk about something we all hate. The ostrich effect.
Oh, yeah. Burying your head in the sand, pretending the problem's not there.
Exactly. We've all done it. Avoiding that tough conversation, putting off something we don't want to deal with.
Makes you feel better for a minute, but then it just gets worse.
Yeah. Bartlett's point is that avoidance, it kills your success in the long run.
It's like that leaky roof, right? Ignore it now, you're going to pay later.
Big time. And this ostrich effect, it pops up everywhere. Relationships, your career, you name it.
So if you're in a job you hate, but keep telling yourself it's not that bad, you're basically stuck.
You're stopping yourself from finding something better. Yeah.
Or in a business, think about ignoring customer complaints. Sure, it's easier in the moment, but long-term, disaster.
Bartlett's got this four-step process for getting out of that avoidance trap. First, got to admit the problem exists.
Brutal honesty time.
Right. Then figure out why you're avoiding it. What's the fear? Failure? Disappointing someone?
Self-awareness is key here, right? Understanding your own patterns.
100%. Step 3, this is big, speak up. But without blaming anyone.
It's so easy to point fingers, but that doesn't actually fix anything.
Nope. Focus on solutions. What can you do? How can you work together with others to make things right?
And finally, listening is huge. Really trying to see things from other people's perspective, even if it's uncomfortable.
Empathy is the name of the game. You might learn something you hadn't even considered.
Those ostrich moments, facing them head on is tough, but that's how we grow, right?
It's that short-term pain for long-term gain. Okay, switching gears a bit. Let's talk discipline.
Ooh, I like where this is going. Always down for more discipline.
Bartlett's take on it is really interesting. It's not about that no pain, no gain stuff. It's more nuanced.
Intrigued. Discipline always seems like it's about willpower, pushing yourself. What's he saying?
He's got this thing called the discipline equation. Breaks it down into 3 parts. The value of the goal, the pleasure of the journey, and the cost of the effort.
Okay, so if we really care about the goal, we're more likely to stick with it.
Exactly. Think about it. If you're passionate about something, it aligns with what you believe in, you're going to put in the work, even when it's hard.
Makes sense. But what about enjoying the journey? Isn't discipline supposed to be hard?
That's the thing. Bartlett says, if you can make the process fun, discipline comes naturally.
So it's not about gritting your teeth and pushing through, it's about finding ways to enjoy the ride.
100%. If going to the gym feels like torture, you're not going to last. But find something you love, dancing, hiking, whatever, and it's way easier to stay motivated.
It's like those small steps towards the goal, they should feel good too, not just the end result.
And then there's the cost of effort. All the stuff that gets in the way makes it hard to stay disciplined.
Procrastination, bad time management, distractions.
All of that. Bartlett says if you can minimize those costs, staying focused is way easier.
So it's about setting yourself up for success, like having a good environment that supports your goals.
Right. If you want to eat healthy, but your kitchen is full of junk food, that's not helping.
It's a recipe for disaster, basically.
But if you surround yourself with good choices, make a plan, it's like you're giving yourself a head start.
I love how these 3 parts of the discipline equation fit together. It's not just about willpower, it's about the whole picture.
And here's another thing Bartlett throws in. Thinking about your own mortality can actually boost discipline. Sounds weird, but stick with me.
Okay, this I gotta hear.
When you really face the fact that your time is limited, you start to prioritize differently. What really matters. You don't want to waste time on stuff that doesn't bring you joy or move you forward.
It's like that saying, life's too short to do all the things you don't actually want to do.
Exactly. Knowing we've got limited time can make us way more intentional about how we spend it.
Powerful stuff. All right, last but not least, tell me about this 3 bars framework for building awesome teams.
This is a tool for leaders to figure out, basically, is each person on the team helping or hurting?
One bad apple can spoil the bunch, right? Is this about getting rid of those toxic people?
It's part of it, but it's bigger than that. The 3 bars framework asks, if everyone in the company was like this person, would things get better, stay the same, or get worse?
That's a great question to ask. It's not just about individual skills, it's about their overall impact.
You got it. A team is more than just a bunch of individuals. How they work together, their values, that's what makes or breaks it.
So how does a leader actually USC this framework? Like when hiring, promoting, firing?
It's about seeing if someone aligns with the company's values and if they're making the team better.
So the people who lift everyone up, they're the keepers.
Those are your superstars. They create that positive environment where everyone can thrive.
And the ones who bring everyone down, got to deal with those no matter how talented they are.
Sometimes letting someone go, even if they're good at their job, is the best thing for the team as a whole.
That takes guts, though, as a leader. Choosing what's best for everyone, not just one person.
It's about the long game, building something sustainable and awesome.
This framework, it's not just for companies either, right? It's about the energy we bring to any group.
Totally. We all affect the people around us. We can choose to raise the bar or lower it.
That's a great note to end on. This has been so insightful. Bartlett's Diary of a CEO, it's packed with practical wisdom for anyone who wants to level up in work and in life. Man, we've covered a lot with Stephen Bartlett's book. Those buckets of success, the question thing, so crazy that it actually
The
works.
Goldilocks thing, how companies use that. Plus, grabbing attention in those first few seconds, crucial.
But it's not enough to just hear this stuff, right? We got to do something with it.
But Bartlett's big on that. He's not just talking theory. He's giving you the tools to actually make changes.
Actionable steps, real life examples, love that.
And one thing that stuck with me, he said, success isn't just what you achieve, it's who you become along the way.
Ooh, that's deep. It's not just about like checking things off a list. It's about the journey itself.
Exactly. Facing those challenges, learning from when you screw up, always trying to be better.
So think about all these ideas we talked about. How can they help you be the person you want to be? Not just achieve stuff, but like, who are you at the end of it all?
Maybe it's finally taking that course, filling those knowledge buckets, or finding a mentor, someone who's already where you want to be.
Or using that question trick on yourself to finally start those good habits.
Or maybe it's looking at your team, if you're a leader, using that 3 bars thing to make sure everyone's pulling in the right direction.
Whatever it is for you, take that first step. Try things out, see what works.
Success isn't the finish line, it's the whole race. Got to run it with purpose, be curious, and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. Now, go out there and make it happen.